M&M's is shaking up its marketing strategy after pushback over making its cartoon mascots more woke or inclusive. It's indefinitely pausing the mascots and replacing them with comedian and actress Maya Rudolph. M&M's parent company Mars said it's taking a break from the spokes candies after backlash. Last year, the company rebranded each mascot with a new backstory and personality. For example, they turned the green feminine M&M into a feminist character with sneakers instead of go-go boots. They turned the male orange mascot into a character full of anxiety, and the most controversial change was adding a purple lesbian M&M to be more inclusive. Critics claimed it was an example of the woke agenda going too far. Amid the controversy, M&M's yesterday said it's pausing the spokes candies because it wants to bring people together, not polarize them. Maya Rudolph will take over the company's next Super Bowl ad next month. Now joining us to talk about the M&M's controversy is Will Hild. He's the executive director at Consumers Research. Now, Will, on this topic, the left and the right have very different takes. I'm curious, what do you make of M&M's taking an indefinite pause on the spokes candies?
Well, it's just another case of a company that has ruined its branding by going woke. They kept messing with the candies, everything from changing the female candy's shoes to the size of the candies. You know, clearly someone within their marketing department got the woke mind virus and decided that they should start playing with these beloved characters, not focusing on what customers wanted or what they liked about the candies, but simply trying to inject a bunch of woke politics into the way in which the candies were portrayed. And obviously, it's kind of a comical thing. We're talking about little anthropomorphized M&Ms, but I think it's part of a larger problem that these companies have, where people within the company really just see the company as a way to express their politics, not as a vehicle to serve customers. And so what M&M has clearly had to do now is backtrack completely. I mean, think of the huge amount of money that was invested in marketing these branded candies, and now they're throwing it all away because they have ensnared themselves in this controversy completely unnecessarily.
So, Will, some on the left are saying the company should not have caved to the right's criticism. What do you say to that?
Well, there are those on the left who think that everything should be about politics. Every show should be about politics. Every company should be about politics. Every product should be about politics. So I'm by no means surprised to hear that the same people who want every show to be about the Democratic Party platform are saying that, a couple of candies, anthropomorphized candies, should also be about far left politics. The average American doesn't want it. They're tired of this. They're tired of everything being about politics. And that's what M&M should have stuck to, just entertaining us with a funny candy brand and feeding us with a delicious chocolate. But instead, they let their marketing department steer them into wokeness.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, these are fictional cartoon characters. Do you think, there was a lot of criticism when M&M's updated their mascots recently, to be more inclusive. Do you think there was too much emphasis on these cartoon characters, or do you maybe feel that the criticism was actually warranted?
Well, I think the criticism was warranted in this case. A lot of times people on the left, when they start doing weird woke things, like they will claim, well, why are you making such a big deal about it? Why do you care about a bunch of cartoon candies anyway? How weird are you that you even care? But at every interval, this is kind of like boiling the frog. You do it slowly so the frog doesn't notice and jump out. These woke folks, why were they pushing these candies to be changed if it's such a stupid thing? And so obviously on an individual level, these are just a bunch of cartoon candies, but I think it's indicative of the woke mind virus, what that does to people and what that can do to our society if we don't put a stop to it, which is why I'm sad to see these candies go, but I'm glad to see that M&M has recognized that they made a mistake.
Right. And just quickly, one last thing. How do you think the consumer reaction will be going forward?
That's a great question. I wouldn't be surprised to see M&M sales continue to dip. As I've said before, I don't think that many people know who Maya Rudolph is, or even if they do, have that strong of feelings about her one way or the other. Whereas I guarantee the name ID, the visual ID of those cartoon candies was very, very high. So I think M&M is going to have to spend a ton of money just getting back to where they already were, if it's even possible, with their marketing. And so it's going to cost them a lot of money, and unfortunately it's going to cost consumers a recognizable product mascot.
And again, that was Will Hill, the Executive Director at Consumers Research.